the smartest sports YouTuber, back with another video. And before I talk about this shit show of a game, let me address the Chargers fans and the trolls. Let me just say, as I was watching the game, I was at the game watching the game. I didn't check my phone. My phone was about to die, so I was off my phone completely for the whole game. And then I notice once I get home and I get on my phone, I see 300 new comments, 3 to 400 new comments on my video. So I just want to know, where the fuck was that energy before the game? This is what I don't like. People have all the shit to say after the game, but before the game they were quiet as shit. They were scared to death. They couldn't take it. Okay? They couldn't say anything. They couldn't muster up any words because they were frightened. They were scared. But that was just me, wondering where the energy was at before the game. And if you guys have that much energy after this game, keep that same energy the rest of the year. You better have that energy if you make the playoffs. Especially if you make the playoffs, you're getting first rounded, first of all. So you better keep that same energy. But that's just the thing. If you're gonna talk all that shit, do it before the game as well. Don't just come afterwards and just talk shit. But with that being said, let's get into the game. First of all right, first drive of the game. The Bengals, what was that, the strip sack? I'm pretty sure the strip sack. I'm pretty sure someone was open on that play. I saw Joe Burrow was about to get it to him, and Jonah Williams gives up a strip sack. Not really anything Joe Burrow could do. He stepped up in the pocket, but when he was throwing the ball got hit, and that is what it is. Jonah Williams got beat for a sack. Let's see. The Chargers obviously capitalized. Fourth and goal. They went for it. Aggressive, like their coach always is. Justin Herbert throws a good pass to Keenan Allen, who makes a great play on the ball. And the Chargers have like an early 9-0 lead. So you're thinking, all right, the Bengals got to do something here. And Joe Big Dick Burrow throws a perfect ball to Jamar Chase. And what happens? Puts it right in stride for a 70-yard touchdown. And instead of just dropping the ball and, oh, you missed out on a 70-yard touchdown. No, somehow Chase finds a way to drop the ball, hit it behind him so the defender can intercept it. That is the worst interception put on a QB I've seen all year. That is the most bullshit interception on a quarterback all year. That shouldn't even count as an interception. That should count as a fucking drop and a fumble. It should count against Jamar Chase or something, but it is what it is. I mean, that's how you know the stats were misleading in this game, but we'll get more to that later. Jamar Chase with a huge drop, and obviously they score off of that, so it's 16-0. And right there, I'm like, I'm thinking, yeah, the Bengals probably aren't going to win this game if they're doing that. Jamar Chase is not going to, they're not going to let Jamar Chase get loose like that, really anytime after that play. They're just going to keep a good eye on him. They're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. And Jamar Chase didn't capitalize off his opportunity, and that's why the Bengals brought him here. So, but the Bengals respond, and the Bengals don't do shit. The O-line is getting cooked. And if I knew that Trey Hill and Isaiah Prince were starting this game, I wouldn't have been so confident going into this game, because Riley Reef and Trey Hopkins, even though they're not the best, Trey Hopkins isn't that good, but Trey Hill makes him look like the best center in football. And Isaiah Prince, Riley Reef is a solid tackle, and Isaiah Prince is not. They're both trash. They're both not good. Trey Hill is absolute garbage. Trey Hill is a penalty machine, a holding machine. All he does is get penalties. Isaiah Prince just isn't that good right now. I mean, he's still young. He could develop, but right now he's absolute trash. So is Trey Hill. So this run game really couldn't do shit. Joe Mixon, I've been trying to say it's not like this run game is that efficient. When Joe Mixon's getting 130 yards, he's also getting like 30 carries. When he's getting 120 yards, he's getting 30 carries. So he's getting about 4.5 yards per carry a game. That's not the most efficient. That's solid. But this game, 19 carries, 2.8 yards a carry, 59 yards. That is shit. And obviously a big reason why is Trey Hill and Isaiah Prince just were awful. Absolute trash in this game. The Bengals don't have that good of an O-line to start out with, so if you lose 2 of the 5 starters on a already suspect O-line, you're in for an absolute shit show, and that's what it was. Now, the Chargers, they get a 24-0 lead. I went back to the comments, and after they got the 24-0 lead, I saw there was people talking shit, saying, "Oh, it's over," and then I noticed there was a gap between times because it got all silent when the Bengals started to come back. When the Bengals started to make their comeback, Joe Burrow, a great pass to T. Higgins, in double coverage, just fits it right in there, right where it needed to be. T. Higgins makes a great play on the ball, 24-6. They go for two, then they get a penalty, then Evan McPherson misses the extra point, so 24-6. Then Chargers give the Bengals the ball back again, and what does Joe Burrow do? Drives them down the field. What? Another rushing touchdown. What did I say? He's going to start getting more comfortable on his legs later in the season. Two rushing touchdowns the last 2 weeks, and those were his only rushing touchdowns of the season. So he's obviously getting more comfortable with his legs, but he's not going to get all the way there. That's for next season, but he's starting to get his comfortability back with his legs and running the football. Two rushing touchdowns the past 2 weeks. But yeah, Joe Burrow gets it in for a rushing touchdown. Then Justin, the Herbert pervert, who had 3 touchdowns at the start of the second quarter, almost like 200 yards. So he had basically 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks at the start of the second quarter. And what did he do the rest of the game? Nothing, not shit. And let's not forget that Justin Herbert threw so many 50-50 balls that his receivers bailed him out on. This is not me hating, this is just facts. He had one deep down, pretty sure it was the Keenan Allen or Jared Cook. Then he had one in the end zone. Some dude I don't even remember the name of just mossed Jesse Bates, just absolutely bitched Jesse Bates. And yeah, so what? I mean, are we going to give Herbert credit for that touchdown? Like, that's a 50-50 ball that honestly should have been, that was an underthrow. That should have been intercepted, if anything. And his receiver bails him out, gets a touchdown. And what do you know? Oh, the Bengals leave another receiver wide open for a touchdown. So with all that being said, they had a 24-0 lead. Joe Burrow hits T. Higgins, touchdown 24-6. Then what? Joe Burrow runs it in 24-13. Justin Herbert throws a bad interception before halftime. The Bengals can't capitalize it and get any points. Coming out of halftime, the Bengals get the ball. And what do they do? What do they do? Of course, they come down, kick a field goal at the start of the second half, so it's 24-16, and then Justin Herbert continues to get locked up. Justin Herbert didn't do shit in this game past like 10 minutes into the second quarter. He did absolute shit. He was garbage from that point on. And the Bengals get the ball back, and they score a touchdown, and they go for two, and Joe Mixon is about like a half an inch short of the 2-point conversion, so it's 24-22 in the third quarter. Bengals are making big plays on defense, getting big sacks. Trey Hendrickson comes up huge, gets a sack, gets us the ball back, 24-22, start of the fourth quarter, driving down in field goal range already. Evan McPherson is probably the best or second best kicker when it comes to 50-plus yard field goals. So even if you don't get a first down in this situation that I'm talking about, Evan McPherson kicks a field goal, you're up 25-24. But the Bengals were driving. Start of the fourth quarter, they had all the momentum in the world. All the momentum was on their side. And what does Joe Mixon do? A person that never fumbles the football, almost never fumbles the football, comes up with the worst play of the season for the Bengals, just drops the football. It's not even like he was hit that hard. I don't even know if the hit was made the fumble a fumble. I don't even know if the hit caused the fumble or what. But Joe Mixon just loses the ball, basically just hands them the game, loses the ball, they pick it up, they score a touchdown, then it's 31-22. It's a two-score game with like 10 minutes left. And then the Bengals obviously have to answer that next drive, but guess what? A penalty on the trash offensive lineman and a sack. And Joe Burrow was sacked 6 times in this game. He was getting absolutely killed this game because they got down, they had to throw. And with this O-line, if you know they got to throw, that's when Joe Burrow is going to get killed back there because obviously this O-line is not good, especially when they have 2 backups in the game. So Joe Burrow gets sacked. They have to punt the ball. And the Bengals end up getting the ball, down 12, something like that, with like 6 minutes to go with no timeouts. So that pick that Joe Burrow threw, down 16 in the fourth quarter, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm not Like, oh yeah, it was a bad throw, but guess what? It was second and 15. It was second and goal from the 15. If Joe Burrow throws the ball away, then it's third and 15, and you got to score, and it's third and goal at the 15. So he just had to try to force the ball. It was intercepted. The game was pretty much over once Mixon fumbled the ball. If you look at it, Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon had the two biggest plays of the game. And I know Chargers fans are talking all that shit, but if they face in the playoffs, the Bengals are beating the shit. I pray the Bengals and Chargers play in the playoffs again, because look at the difference. Joe Burrow started off what? 3 for 5, 38 yards and a pick. The difference could have been 4 for 5, over 100 yards, a touchdown, 0 picks. Look at how big of a gap that is in his numbers and for the team. But Jamar Chase drops a 70-yard touchdown pass, drops a perfect pass, and it gets intercepted. Joe Mixon, we're about to take the lead at least by one. We probably are going to go down and score a touchdown. We have all the momentum in the world. Our defense has been shutting Herbert the pervert down, and all the momentum is on our side. And Joe Mixon does the worst thing he could. He just drops the football, fumbles the football. They scoop it and score. It was absolutely pathetic. Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon are the ones to blame for this game. I mean, look at that swing. Jamar Chase drops a touchdown. They go down and score. That's a 14-point swing. Joe Mixon, we're at least going to get 3 out of that drive. So if you want to say 3, they get 7. That's a 10-point swing or 14-point swing. So they're right there in those two plays. Those are 24 to 28-point swings the other way. And those are plays that won't happen in the future. At least I hope. I know Joe Mixon won't fumble like that in the future. Jamar Chase has to get his fucking shit together with these drops. Another thing they wanted to talk about, like Tyler Boyd mentioned, the Steelers quitting, but the Bengals dropped 3 passes at the very end of the game. Jamar Chase had a drop, T. Higgins had a drop, and C.J. Uzomah had a drop. So it looked like they gave up. And yeah, so that's pretty much how the game went. If you look at the I mean, I guess I'll get into it in another video because people will want me to talk about Burrow versus Herbert more. So I will touch that in another video. But for this video, listen, in the words of Conor McGregor, this is not over. I don't know why people are thinking, oh my god, I told you, exposed, this and that. The Bengals and Chargers are both 7-5. This was a bigger game for the Chargers than it was the Bengals. If the Bengals won this game, they would have been 2 games up on the win-loss column, and they would have had the tiebreaker. So that basically would have given them a 3-game lead over the Chargers. Now the Chargers have the tiebreaker, and they're tied in record. So they're even, 7-5, 7-5. Yes, the Bengals do have a little tougher schedule down the stretch, but still, they're both 7-5. The Bengals are still in the playoffs as of right now, and all the Bengals got to do, like I said before, I guess if we're going to look at the positives, before I said this Raiders, Steelers, Chargers stretch where you face 3 AFC playoff team or playoff contenders. If you go 2-1, that's good. If you go 1-2, you're fucked. And obviously if you go 0-3, you're fucked too. But if you go 3-0, then you pretty much guarantee yourself a playoff spot. They went 2-1, so they're still on pace for the playoffs. If they won this game, they pretty much would have locked up their playoff spot. But they're both 7-5, and the Bengals are still one of the scariest teams in the league. Don't let this O-line get healthy, and you're going to be sorry. Obviously, Cheeto got hurt in the game. Logan Wilson got hurt in the game, so the defense was compromised. Like I said, Justin Herbert, the pervert, didn't do shit outside of 10 minutes of the second quarter. And yeah, that is what it is. The Bengals lost. It was a pretty fluky way to lose. I guarantee if you were being unbiased, I'm not being biased in this situation. Jamar Chase dropping a 70-yard touchdown that turns into an interception is a fluke play. Joe Mixon fumbling the ball for a fumble 6 where he barely gets touched is a fluke play. Those are 2 fluke plays that lost the Bengals the game. So, I mean, you can keep bragging about it, but it wasn't impressive by the Chargers. The Bengals would beat the shit out of them if they played in the playoffs because Joe Burrow, I guess I'll get more to that. Joe Burrow was playing with a fractured finger, so let's not forget that. But with that being said, like I said, this is not over. The Bengals will still have a better season than the Chargers. So these Chargers fanboys, enjoy this moment. Whatever you got to do, and it is what it is. But with that being said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, keep the channel growing, and you just listen to the smartest sports YouTuber on the planet. That's a fact. And I'm out.